Hello, we're Group 5, and this is our presentation on Chapter 12, Leadership. I'm Lee Reichl.
I'm Faith.
I'm Aydan.
I'm Jake.
I'm Zach.
Trait theories are theories that consider personal qualities and characteristics that differentiate leaders from non-leaders. Some traits that fit with a leader are extroversion and conscientiousness. Extroversion is a trait of a leader because sociable and dominant people are more likely to assert themselves in situations with groups, making them a leader. Openness to experience may predict leadership, which is why conscientiousness is a trait of a leader as well. Higher scores of some of the dark side personality traits may align with leadership, such as narcissism and psychopathy. It depends on how high of a score that they have on these personality traits to determine whether or not they would be a leader. People with lower to mid-range scores tend to be more optimal, and if people have higher scores, usually they do not define a leader unless they also have emotional stability. Another trait for a leader is emotional intelligence, specifically empathy. Leaders can sense what other people need and listen to what their followers say and don't say. Overall, traits can predict what makes a leader, but they cannot distinguish between effective or good and ineffective or bad leaders. So behavioral theories, behavioral theories are theories proposing that specific behaviors differentiate leaders from non-leaders. Sorry, I'm on the behavioral theory slide. Okay. Behavioral theories are theories proposing that specific behaviors differentiate leaders from non-leaders and implies that we can train people to be leaders. There are two dimensions. Initiating structures is the extent to which a leader defines and structures their role, and those of the followers to achieve a goal. Some examples of this behavior is organizing work relationships, and goals. Someone who is high in initiating structure will assign employee tasks, set definite standards, and will emphasize hard deadlines. Consideration is the extent to which a leader has job relationships and have mutual trust, respect, and regard for employees' feelings. Someone who is high in this helps with personal problems. They're friendly and treat everyone equally. The results of this theory is positive. Employees claim that they are more satisfied with their job, more motivated, have more respect for their leaders. However, the results vary with different cultures, and some may lean more towards initiating or consideration, and then others may require a mix of both. So for contingency theories, the Fiedler model says that group performance depends on the match between the leader's style and the degree of which the situation gives the leader control. The least preferred coworker LPC questionnaire identifies whether a person is task-oriented or relationship-oriented. A high score means that you are relationship-oriented and that you described your least preferred coworker in a favorable term. From there, a fit must be found between the organizational structure or situation and the leader's style for there to be effectiveness. We can assess the situation with the three contingency or situational dimensions. The leader-member relations is the degree of confidence, trust, and respect followers have in their leader. Task structure is the degree to which job assignments are structured, and position power is the degree of influence a leader has over power variables, such as their wages and their schedule. A favorable situation where the leader has a great deal of control might include a manager with respect and confidence in employees, clear and specific activities, and freedom to reward and punish their employees. In the graph shown below, favorable situations are on the left and unfavorable are to the right. Now to continue with contingency theories, situational leadership theory is successful leadership depends on selecting the right leadership style on the follower's readiness. For each situation, the leader has to have an intuitive appeal. This theory acknowledges the importance of followers and says that leaders can compensate for their limited ability and motivation. There are 4 behaviors that followers can have, and the leader has to adjust to each of them in order to help the followers complete the task that's assigned. The path goal theory says that the leader's job is to provide followers with information, support, and resources to complete goals and make it easier. This is similar to the situational leadership theory. And then finally, leader participation model says that the way the leader makes decisions is as important as what they make the decision. It claims that leader behavior must adjust to reflect the task structure and should take recommendations on what types of decisions they should be making by the employees or followers. And it stresses the importance of the relationship between employees and the leaders.
On to contemporary theories of leadership. First is leader-member exchange theory. So there's in and out followers. The in followers, leaders have special relationships with these people, and they are trusted, given special privileges, and receive special attention from the leader. These in followers also share different characteristics and are very trusted. Out followers are all other followers not in the in group, and they are part of the out group. There's charismatic leadership, and this is a leader willing to make personal risks, have confidence in their ideas, and encourage in unconventional behaviors. You can either be born to be this kind of leader or you can learn it. Next, there is transactional leadership. They guide followers to goals and provide roles and task requirements. They use rewards and punishments to motivate followers. And transformational leadership is very similar to transactional. It transpires their followers to transcend their self-interest for the organization. This method shows an increase of organization, performance, job satisfaction, mental health, and motivation. Here is a chart to show the difference. They both form relationships, provide roles and responsibilities to get efficient results.
Next is responsible leadership. Responsible leadership leads to ethical organizations. There are several different types of responsible leaders, such as authentic leaders. They know who they are and what they believe in and their values they stand by. They also share information, they encourage communication, and they stick to their own values. Ethical leaders, they influence both direct followers, and they also set expectations for lower level leaders to behave ethically. They cause higher motivation and performance improvement and less CWBs. Positive leadership, it creates trust and increases expectations on the work being done. There are several outcomes of trust. It causes members to take risks, which allows great leaps in performance. Members are more willing to help each other, making the group more efficient. Employees who trust their supervisors also have a higher performance rating. Positive mentoring is key to developing future leaders. Positive mentors present ideas clearly, positively, and listen well to the future leader.
Challenges of understanding leadership. The attribution theory of leadership is leadership is merely an attribution people make about other individuals. Some attributes of leaders is intelligence. They have outgoing personalities, strong verbal skills, aggressiveness, and understanding. Their aggressiveness is towards like trying to get the job done and motivating their employees or the people underneath them to succeed at their challenge and goal. Individuals hold stereotypes of men being more in the leadership position than women and have more leadership characteristics. The attribution theory also suggests that what is important is projecting the appearance of being a leader over the actual accomplishments. Another challenge is the 10-80-10 rule, which is 10% of the people will always be against you, 80% of the people are neutral, and the last 10% are with you no matter what.
So for the case study on this chapter, it was leadership by algorithm. And it starts out by talking about there's no single right way to lead. And this has been proven by many different studies and tests. And leadership's not really a one size fits all deal. So it explains that using an algorithm, you can pick what's best for your company leadership wise, like what style. The algorithm works by using results from the test of your employees and managers and then picks one that works best. Marcus Buckingham recommends this 4-step plan to implement it. So step 1 is going to be find/develop assessment tools. So for this, you'd have your employees and managers take a Big 5 personality test to split them into categories and find the characteristics that you're seeking for your company. Step 2 is going to be identifying the top leaders in the company and give them tests. This step is to split the leaders into categories by similarities. Step 3 is going to be interviewing leaders in each category to learn their techniques. After you do this, you'll compile all the different techniques within each category. And then step 4, you use the results to create an algorithm for developing leaders. So what you would do is that you would have your developing leaders take the test to determine their category and then share the techniques and the advice and stuff from the leaders in each category to help the developing leaders become better.
Think about this. If 2 managers are equally good with their skills, but only one is a team player, who will the boss hire or promote? The answer is obvious. Employers do not want only professional expertise and experience in their employees. They're also looking for other qualities, character traits for building rapport with customers and co-workers, interpersonal and communication skills that will help leaders steer teams effectively. You'll be able to stand out and advance faster in your career if you have these traits and skills. In this video, we'll share what some of these traits and skills are and show you how to use them in your interactions with customers, subordinates, supervisors, and co-workers. These tips have been taken from training programs in the Singapore Workforce Skills Qualifications for Leadership and People Management, or LPM WSQ. That's not all. We'll also give you some pointers on how you can manage your own development. If you're able to build positive relationships with your customers, they'll keep coming back. However, despite your best efforts, things can sometimes go wrong. Can you still maintain rapport with unhappy customers? Yes, you can. The key is in how you communicate with them. Here are some ways to make your customer feel better. The first way is to reiterate his views to show that you understand. For example, you can say, "You're right. We didn't deliver the samples last week. Follow up with something like this. I'll make a call now to have them delivered today. The second way is to let him tell you what he needs before suggesting a solution. For example, you can say, I have another idea to help you get the samples by tomorrow. For the third method, present the pros and cons. For example, you can say, that's right. If you receive the samples tomorrow, you can meet the deadline. But if you could give us one more day, it will make a big difference to the sample quality and it won't affect the timeline too much. If you're able to attend to unhappy customers well, you'll be able to continue your relationships with them. If you want to get the best results from your subordinates, you need to be assertive. Assertiveness is not about bulldozing your way through while disregarding people's feelings. How then can you express your views honestly and yet be respectful? Explain to your team members why you need them to do certain things and how they would help the organization. Be open to other people's suggestions. And always accept responsibility for your decisions. Otherwise, how will your subordinates believe in what you say? It's important for you to build rapport with your supervisor. One way is to know how he prefers to process information. For example, if your supervisor is a visual person, you can use graphs, pictures, and videos to help him visualize your message. For an auditory supervisor, let him hear your message through face-to-face meetings and phone calls. And if your supervisor is a feeling person, get your message across through experiences such as site visits and product testing. If you're able to influence your co-workers, you can help your project team reach desired outcomes and manage changes. You may use one or a combination of these 4 push and pull influencing styles. One push style is to use logic, point out the loopholes of an argument, and then offer a counter proposal. Another push style is carrot and stick. Show your co-workers the reward they'll get if they comply and highlight the potential threats if they don't. On the other side of the coin are the pull styles. The consultative style is suitable if your team members are committed and capable of offering ideas. And if you're working with senior and independent people, you can move them using the big picture, such as values, mission, and life goals. Employers value employees who are able to grow personally and professionally. These employees are able to take on greater responsibilities and challenges. Therefore, it's important to manage your self-development well. You begin by identifying your career goals. Then, embark on continuing education and training to help you build on your strengths, minimize your weaknesses, and reach your goals. To get the skills you need to stay employable, get the job you want, and progress in your career, you should consider the Singapore Workforce Skills Qualification System, or WSQ. WSQ courses are practical. WSQ frameworks are co-developed by WDA and its industry partners from over 30 sectors. This means you gain skill sets that employers truly want. The courses are accessible. They're easily available at more than 450 CET centers and training providers island-wide. They are affordable. Singaporeans can get subsidies of up to 95% of course fees. They're also flexible. You can take up bite-sized modules to suit your needs and schedule. It's often said that character traits and interpersonal and communication skills will determine how far you'll advance in your career. If you aspire to grow into a holistic leader, find out more about leadership and people management WSQ training programs at www.wda.gov.sg/LPM_WSQ. If you want to upgrade your industry-specific skills, be sure to check out other WSQ frameworks. Log on to www.wda.gov.sg or download the Learn SG mobile app now.
So for our discussion questions, in the case study, it talked about that there's no correct way to lead, but some ways are better than others for some people. What do you think is the best way to lead? And what characteristics do you think someone needs to be a good leader?